This election of our discontent was fueled by many factors. One of them, distrust of the government. In our Full Measure Rasmussen Reports poll, we asked, how confident are you that the government will act in your best interest? Only minority, just over a third of people asked, trust the government to act in their best interest. Well over half, nearly 60%, do not. How to rebuild that trust? The Watchdog Project on Government Oversight has come up with some recommendations for President-elect Trump. Sean Molden says his group's advice is centered on attacking the government culture of secrecy.
One of the top issues is to have a strong policy on ethics. The Obama administration came in and it was a policy on lobbyists.
They have not funded my campaign. They will not work in my White House.
That was their line in the sand, lobbyists. We think that you could change that line a bit. It's not just about lobbyists, it's really about financial conflicts of interest. Another issue would be put somebody in charge of ethics.
Like a cabinet level position or an ethics czar?
A high-level White House position. They have to have enough clout and authority that they can go to any agency and tell them that they need to change how they're doing things, and they would expect to be listened to. We would like to see whistleblower protections improved. These are people who risk their careers, their livelihood to come forward and inform Congress and the public about problems inside the government. And for far too long, they've been retaliated against. They can lose their jobs. There are a lot of other areas where that principle of transparency and accountability just haven't penetrated, especially around national security issues. There's a lot of secret law out there.
Who passes the secret laws?
A lot of it comes out of what's called the FISA court, the Foreign Intelligence Surveillance Court. They do a lot, and some of it has to be secret. That's understood. But a lot of what they do, we believe, could be made public. Fix the Freedom of Information Act. Right now, I mean, we just celebrated 50th anniversary of FOIA. And in all honesty, in those 50 years, it's never worked.
I mean, that's the law that's supposed to let the press and the public apply to see public information from the government.
It's a very simple principle. Ask for information, and if it doesn't fall under some of the very obvious exemptions like national security or privacy, then the government has to give it to you. But if you have to wait years to get an answer to a simple question, that's not working for anybody.
Are you optimistic that a government led by President Trump will change some of these things?
I'm hopeful. I have to be, but it's because there are some good signs and there are some warning signs. He's talked a lot about ethics, about draining the swamp, about changing the way government operates.
We will drain the swamp in Washington, D.C.
And I'm hopeful that when President Trump gets to Washington, that he follows through on some of those promises. And the lack of transparency on his tax returns still worries me. It really does, that he could come into the White House and have a similar attitude now towards his new business, the federal government.